hey, hey, and He can make a way. Hey, hey, so humble yourself and pray and guard His Torah. Obey each day. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Hoshiana, Hoshiana. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Hello to everyone at home. Today will be a short message. You know, life is rough. It's pretty difficult to navigate. And if you haven't noticed, it's been kind of rough here lately. If you watch the news or you read the headlines about what's going on in the world, it's kind of depressing. And it will drag you down if you let it. Everyone is oppressed and being held down by somebody else somewhere else. They're to blame. It's one of you guys. You're all to blame. We take one step forward just to get knocked 2 steps back. We had a saying while I was in the military that I like to use a lot. Some of my family have heard it. But it's a dog-eat-dog world, and everybody's wearing milk-bone underwear. Some of you younger folks might not know what milk bones are, but they're dog treats. Okay. Some of you may have heard the life's like a crab bucket. In a crab bucket, they are all trying to get out. One climbs up close to the top, and those on the bottom are trying their best to drag them back down as they try to climb up on them to get out of the bucket. You can actually look it up. It's called crab bucket mentality. I found some others that are relatable, right? Sort of the opposite of an inspirational quote, as it were. When you're happy, you enjoy the music. When you're sad, you understand the lyrics. Depression isn't a war you win. It's a battle you fight every day. You never stop. You never get to rest. It's one bloody fray after another. That's kind of depressing, isn't it? Yeah. And for the guys, the mass of men lead lives of quiet desperation. And for the gals, behind every sweet smile, there's a bitter sadness that no one can ever see and feel. It's depressing, isn't it? Work is stressful. There might be a boss that you are at odds with, or maybe a coworker. Someone might have stolen your lunch out of the refrigerator. Somebody might be using your creamer all up. You got no creamer for your coffee. You and your spouse might not be seeing eye to eye on things, and they are being difficult. Your kids may not be living the way you think they should. Maybe they are doing poorly in school. Maybe they broke something valuable. It can all be quite overwhelming. Like those, there are other sayings that aren't so negative. They're positive. They're inspirational. Look on the bright side. In every cloud, there's a silver lining. Here's a few others. Opportunities multiply as they are seized, or seize the day. Reality is created in the mind. We can change our reality by changing our mind. You can be happy in any situation you find yourself. You just keep pushing. You just keep pushing. I have made every mistake that could be made, but I just keep pushing. If you're going through hell, don't stop and camp out. The secret to happiness is to count your blessings while others are adding up their troubles. Counting your blessings. How does one count their blessings? And what does a blessing look like? Yeah, 1, 2, 3. I got 3 fingers. I'm blessed. Okay. For some context, blessings are things out of your control. Things that you cannot do yourself. Okay. And if you'll turn with me to Deuteronomy chapter 28, we will look at what Yahweh puts down as blessings, and we'll translate a few of those into today's language and what they might look like. All right, everybody there? Deuteronomy 28, verse 1. And it shall be, if you diligently obey the voice of Yahweh your Elohim, to guard, to do all his commands, which I command you today, that'd be Moshe, that Yahweh your Elohim shall set you high above all nations of the earth. Now he's talking to all the children of Israel. And all these blessings shall come upon you and overtake you if you obey the voice of Yahweh your Elohim. Overtake you. They will, like a wave, wash over you. They will tumble you around, but in a good way, because they're blessings, right? So the very first blessing, verse 3, blessed are you in the city, and blessed are you in the field. What might that look like if you were counting your blessing right there? Might look something like this. Blessed am I by Yahweh that I have a home. Another one might be, blessed am I by Yahweh that I have shops and stores to go to, for without them I wouldn't have things. I don't create shops and stores. And most of us have not built our own home. Blessed am I by Yahweh that I have a place to work. Blessed am I by Yahweh that I have my health. But you might say, I have effect over that. I eat well. I exercise. There's people that die every day from heart attacks, strokes, cancer, who worked out every day of their life. Just because you're alive doesn't mean, and then there are people that have smoked for 35 years, 50 years, and they're still alive 20, 30 years after that healthy person has passed away. So you being healthy is a blessing that you actually don't have a lot of control over. You can affect it a little bit one way or the other, but not everything. Verse number 4. Blessed is the fruit of your body, and the fruit of your ground, and the fruit of your livestock, and the increase of your cattle, and the offspring of your flocks. What might that look like? Blessed am I by Yahweh that I have a father and a mother, for without them I would not be. Blessed am I by Yahweh that I have a wife, for without her I would not have children. Blessed am I by Yahweh that I have children, for without them my name would cease from being on the earth. Blessed am I by Yahweh that I have an increase of my labor, that I can care for my family. Blessed am I by Yahweh that I have flocks, and that they are increasing. Now, y'all may not have flocks. That's just a blessing that somebody might have. Blessed am I by Yahweh that I have brothers and sisters who fear in Yahweh with me. But what if you don't have a father and a mother? Blessed am I by Yahweh that I don't have a father, that I've suffered through that and have become stronger so that I can help someone else. You can do that with anything. If you don't have children, blessed am I that I do not have children, that I might pour my affections on my brothers, on my sisters, on my nieces, my nephews. Everybody loves a rich uncle. Just saying. Blessed is your basket and your kneading bowl. That is verse number 5. Blessed am I in Yahweh that I have clean water. Blessed am I by Yahweh that I have food to eat. Blessed am I by Yahweh that I have food to share. And if you don't have food to share, blessed are you by Yahweh that you have friends who will share with you. Verse 6. Blessed are you when you come in, and blessed are you when you go out. What's that look like today? Blessed am I by Yahweh that I have a place to return to that is filled with those who love me. Everybody's got loved ones at home, right? You got loved ones at home? I do. Do you? Yeah. But what if you don't? Blessed am I by Yahweh that I get to return to home. It may be lonely, but I get to go out to be with my brothers and sisters. Be that rich uncle or rich aunt, whichever. Blessed am I by Yahweh that I have places to go that have people who need me for my skills. If you are a man, you are seen as a provider of skills. And if you have skills and you share them with others, you are blessed. And so are they. If you are a woman, blessed are you who have a kind and caring touch, who can bring joy to others. Blessed am I by Yahweh that I have the ability to travel speedily and safely. We've got cars and trucks and planes and trains, and more so than any other place on the planet. To be oppressed here in this country is crazy. You are truly blessed. Blessed am I by Yahweh that I can walk up and down the street without anybody bothering me. And that is true in most places in this country. Especially if you're a woman. Because there's a lot of places in the world that women cannot walk around anywhere and not be molested. And if they don't have a male escort, bad things happen. Blessed am I by Yahweh that I have a congregation to meet with, for without them I would be alone. Deuteronomy 28:7. Yahweh causes your enemies, your enemies, to rise against you, to be smitten before your face. They come out against you one way and flee before you 7 ways. Blessed am I by Yahweh that I have protection from those who would do me harm. Blessed am I by Yahweh that I have Yahweh to put fear in those who are evil of heart. Blessed am I by Yahweh that I have friends whom I will aid when they need me. Blessed am I by Yahweh that I have friends who would come to my aid when called. Are these relatable? Verse 8. Yahweh commands the blessings on you in your storehouse and in all to which you set your hand, and you shall bless and shall bless you in the land which Yahweh your Elohim is giving you. Now he was saying this right before they went over into the promised land, and we are now in the dispersion. But does that mean that we are not blessed here? I think we are. Who has more than 2 weeks worth of food in their pantry? Who eats 2-3 meals a day, every day, has snacks? Yeah. Who has fat dogs and cats at home because of the plenty? Yeah. I know several people with some fat dogs and cats. We're talking actual rolls around the neck. Okay. They live a good life. Blessed am I by Yahweh that I have the results of my labor and that they haven't been taken from me, because they could be. Blessed am I by Yahweh that I have a community that has the fruit of their labor and it hasn't been taken from them. Blessed am I by Yahweh that I have a country that is plentiful. A lot of people want to bring this country down, but I can tell you, go somewhere else, live there for a while, and you'll be glad to be on this soil. This is a good place to be. Ask other people who were born and raised in other countries, who have gotten to come here and live. They're good Americans. I can tell you. Verse 9. Yahweh does establish you as a set-apart people to himself, as he has sworn to you, if you guard the commands of Yahweh your Elohim and walk in his ways. Blessed am I by Yahweh that I have been set apart to him and that he establishes in me his Torah. Blessed am I by Yahweh that I have a path to walk. And worst case scenario, if you're a Job and you've had pretty much everything taken from you, blessed are you to be the right example for someone not to follow. Of course, Job was a good example, but he had a lot of things taken from him. But he was blessed in the end, 10 times over. Verse 10. And all the peoples on the earth shall see that the name of Yahweh is called upon you, and they shall be afraid of you. Blessed am I by Yahweh that I have a reputation that is inspiring to those who are my friends. Blessed am I by Yahweh that I have a reputation that is confounding to those who are my enemies. The truth. Verse 11. And Yahweh shall make you to have plenty of what is good in the fruit of your body, in the fruit of your livestock, in the fruit of your ground, in the land which Yahweh swore to your fathers to give you. Now that's prophetic when we return, but we are experiencing a piece of that right here in this country. There is no doubt that we have the ability to have way more than most of the population of the planet. There's not a country out there that I have been to that those people wouldn't love to be here. There's a lot of people that hate on America, that hate on this country, and in the same breath would come here in a heartbeat. There's a lot of people in this country that hate on this country that will never leave because it's worse there, wherever they would go. Blessed am I by Yahweh that I have the best of what is available in the world. Blessed am I by Yahweh that I have the greatest culture that exists in the world right now. Obviously, that's going to change. Blessed am I by Yahweh that I have the truth of what has been promised by Yahweh. Verse 12. Yahweh opens to you his good treasure, the heavens, to give you rain to your land in its season, and to bless all the work of your hand. And you shall lend to many nations, but you do not borrow. On that, this country has not done so well. But you personally, blessed am I by Yahweh that I have that which is good weather. I mean, we occasionally get some storms here and there, but we haven't had any major droughts that went on for 5 or 6 years. We're able to grow gardens. We're able to raise flocks. Blessed am I by Yahweh that I am debt-free, mostly. Some of you might not be in that boat. Some of you might have a truck payment. I don't know. Nope. But being debt-free is freedom. And Yahweh shall make you the head and not the tail. And you shall be on top, only on top, and not be beneath. If you obey, keyword, obey the commands of Yahweh your Elohim, which I command you today to guard and do. That's an important thing. And do. So, those are the teachings. The commands and all that stuff are the teachings. The blessings are the things you can't control. To obey the commands is all the things you can control. Because all those things are in your ability to do. To love your neighbor as yourself, to honor thy father, thy mother, not commit murder. Okay? Don't commit adultery. Don't steal. Don't covet your neighbor's stuff. That's all inside your control. If you do those things, then these things that are out of your control are given to you. Number 14. And do not turn aside from any of the words which I am commanding you today, right or left, to go after any mighty ones to serve them. Now, that was a lot of blessings I just had on there that were mostly mine, and hopefully most of them were yours too. So I certainly hope that you have a way to count your blessings. And if you're having trouble seeing your blessings, feel free to ask. We are all blessed differently in our walks with Yahweh. Some are blessed with much. Some are blessed with little. Either way, we are still blessed. It is easy to get caught up in the pressures of everyday life. Every now and again, it's good to count your blessings. Even when you think it isn't going the right way. You're blessed as long as you're above ground, because every day is a new day to obey. Yahweh bless you and guard you. Yahweh make his face to shine upon you and show you favor. Yahweh lift his face upon you and give you peace.